Israel has denied responsibility for Gaza's growing food shortage, instead accusing Hamas of deliberately creating the crisis. Government spokesman David Mencer said there is no famine caused by Israel and claimed Hamas is looting aid and blocking food distribution. His comments come after over 100 aid agencies warned of mass starvation. France strongly disagreed, saying malnutrition and the risk of famine are direct result of Israel's blockade. Paris also warned that Israel's intensified military campaign is further deteriorating the human crisis in Gaza. Now we are joined by Rohan Gunaratna. He's an international affairs expert joining us live from Singapore. Thank you, Rohan, for joining us today. Good to see you. Now, Israel has denied responsibility for Gaza's food shortage. How do you assess Israel's position on this crisis, and to what extent does the blockade contribute to the humanitarian situation we've shown in Gaza?
Israel blocked the aid because Hamas was looting from the food, medicine and other supplies, and they were exercising their influence on the public. Israel don't want that. Israel wants the aid directly to go to the people of Gaza. So a mechanism has to be worked out where Hamas does not exploit the food and other relief supplies. But in the meantime, because World Health Organization has given a very clear warning, it is important for Israel to consider their assessment and send more aid and more assistance to the civilian population in Gaza, because starvation is something that should never happen. Because Israel's number one objective is to free its citizens who have been taken as hostage by Hamas, and also to dismantle Hamas and to ensure that Hamas either surrenders or is eliminated. So Israel's main concern is not to block the aid to the people of Gaza. So I believe that there must be a quick resolution to this, because no one wants people of Gaza to suffer without food.
And Rohan, now the warning of mass starvation from over 100 aid agencies, as well as France's criticism of Israel's actions, indicate a deepening humanitarian disaster. How effective do you think international aid efforts can be under the current blockade?
I believe that Israel has to be consulted and Israel has to work out a plan. But it is also important that Hamas does not exploit the aid for them to build influence and control over the population, because Hamas will have to be dismantled, because it engaged in killing, in maiming, in injuring, in arson attacks, in raping and also abducting hostages. So Hamas will be eliminated sooner or later. But what is important is that the people do not suffer as a result of the counterterrorism operations. Those operations should be more targeted at Hamas and should not contribute any more to the devastating war. Of course, one must understand this war is a direct result of the brutal attack that Hamas staged on October 7th and 8th, 2023.
And Rohan, now France has also condemned Israel's military actions. So given the increasing international pressure, how might Israel navigate this diplomatic challenge without undermining its security concerns?
Israel will have to discuss with the various entities that are engaged in the supply of food and relief and develop a system where the people get the aid, not Hamas. And Israel will have to, of course, engage France, that is criticizing Israel, and to tell France that France should ask Hamas to surrender and to release the hostages. That is a very high national security priority for Israel. But at the same time, one should make sure that in all counterterrorism operations, the people are protected, because what is so important is to ensure that there's no famine, there's no starvation.
Thank you very much, Rohan Gunaratna, for joining us today and sharing your insight.